Hello, it's Paulus the Cabaret Geek here, and this video is dedicated to Coleby, who asked me the question which I'm just about to answer, which is, what made you fall in love with cabaret? Well, I went to drama school many years ago when musical theatre, which is what I trained in, wasn't really as diverse or inclusive as it is now when it comes to people who are overtly camp, queer, gay, like I am. We didn't have musicals like everybody's talking about Jamie. We didn't have Hairspray. We didn't have Kinky Boots. We had the Rocky Horror Show, if you were freaky. And I think Rent had just sort of come out in America at least. And, there wasn't very many places, or certainly my training and the people that taught me didn't feel there were many places that I would fit. And sadly, my drama school experience was filled with people telling me, that I should change and that I would never work because of the way I spoke and the way I acted. There was very little, not none, but there was very little celebration of what I could do and who I was. And that was partly indicative of the time that I was growing up in and I went to drama school in. I got thrown out of drama school before I graduated. Ostensibly, that was because I ran out of money, which is true, I did run out of money, but history shows that other people that went to the same school and had similar issues were helped and they were able to stay, and payment plans were sorted out and things like that. And so all I can extrapolate from the fact that nobody wanted to do a payment plan with me is that my not fitting in didn't fit with their narrative, and perhaps not having me at the graduation ceremony sticking out like a sore thumb was better for the school and the other students. This is a long time ago. This is the 90s, and this is what it was like in England, even in London, and even in the theatre back then. To answer your question about why I fell in love with cabaret, I fell into cabaret when I left drama school. I started working as a waiter like so many other people, and I was working in Soho, and two drag queens came in for lunch. They worked at Madame Jojo's cabaret bar, which was a world famous cabaret bar. And they were very friendly, I was very chatty, and 2 weeks later I had an audition and got a job as a showgirl at Jojo's, and my career as Trinity Million began. I had already done cabarets. When I was 15, I'd been putting on my own cabarets and sort of coordinating them and comparing them. So I'd already sort of had some experience of it, and then going to Jojo's exacerbated that. Why do I love it? Well, if you compare it to musical theatre, I once met this very nice, very talented dancer called Kirsty, and Kirsty had been in The Lion King when I met her. She'd been in it for 9 years, playing the same role for 9 years, 8 shows a week, saying the same lines, wearing the same costumes, dancing the same dances, and singing the same songs for 9 years. And I struggle to find the creativity in that. Now, I'm not saying it's not creative, the job of being in a long-running musical. I think it's tremendously creative if you can do it. I can't do it. I'm not good in long runs of things. I assume the creativity is about keeping it fresh, about making it your own when the parameters of fitting into such a famous role that's been played by many others, and that sometimes you get the job for simply because you fit the costume. That those are tremendously creative things to do. I can't do them. And so I've never been very good at being in long runs of things. And all of those things that sort of reduce you as a performer to a tick box exercise, your height, your weight, your sexuality to some extent, certainly whether you're butch or camp, whether you're going to be the kooky one or the best friend or the romantic lead. All of those things were very negative places for me to be and me to have to deal with personally and professionally. I think they're very hard for people to deal with professionally, no matter who you are, but it's exacerbated by a childhood of not fitting in and being told you're not right, in my case. And with cabaret, there's no tick box exercise. There's no fitting in because you are the right height for the leading man and you're going to be playing opposite him or whatever. If I want to sing a song that's written originally for a 60-year-old woman, I do it. And if I can justify why this song is relevant to me and why it means something to me, and that's why I want to share it, that's enough. I once did an interview a long time ago, and I likened cabaret performers to a children's television programme that was on in the UK when I was little, called the Raggy Dolls. And the Raggy Dolls were reject dolls that lived in this factory, and they were all misshapen or had a bit missing or wonky, and they got thrown in this reject bin, and then when the factory was closed at night, they came alive and they had adventures, and that's what the programme was about. And I often think that myself and many of my fellow cabaret practitioners are a bit like the Raggy Dolls. We're just trying to find a place to fit in. And cabaret affords you that. Cabaret lets your freak flag fly. And it's been doing so for over 100 years now. Long may that continue. Because right now, we need that. We need places like that more than ever. Anyway, that's why I fell in love with cabaret. I hope that answers your question, Coleby. And I hope everybody else enjoyed it too. For more stuff like this, press the subscribe button. I'll see you next time, if we're saved.